Excellency, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Tinubu Bola, ministers and ministers who accompany the delegation of the President of Nigeria.
Nigeria and Brazil just shook hands on a historic energy push, and all eyes are on Petrobras making a comeback. After years away, the oil giant is preparing to rejoin Africa's biggest energy market. This move could reshape trade, jobs, and power across two continents. Introduction to the Nigeria-Brazil partnership. The relationship between Nigeria and Brazil has grown into one of the most strategic South-South collaborations in recent years. Both countries are emerging economies, rich in natural resources, and members of influential international blocs that advocate for stronger cooperation among developing nations. Brazil seeks to deepen its footprint in Africa, while Nigeria looks to diversify its partnerships beyond traditional Western allies. This alignment has created fertile ground for deals in energy, trade, and technology. The 2025 agreements symbolize not just contracts, but a broader vision of mutual growth. By combining Brazil's advanced expertise in oil exploration and Nigeria's vast reserves, the two nations can create a model partnership. Analysts stress that this move could enhance job creation, infrastructure development, and bilateral investments. Historic context of their bilateral relations. The connection between Nigeria and Brazil is rooted in a long history of cultural, economic, and political exchanges. Brazil is home to the largest African diaspora outside the continent, with many Brazilians tracing ancestry back to West Africa, especially Nigeria. These shared cultural ties have shaped diplomacy and boosted mutual trust. Over the decades, the two countries have engaged in trade agreements, agricultural exchanges, and educational collaborations. In the 1970s and 1980s, Brazil supported Nigeria's industrial and energy ambitions, while Nigeria supplied crude oil and natural gas to meet Brazil's growing demands. This historic bond has provided a strong foundation for present-day partnerships. Both countries have consistently supported one another in multilateral organizations, such as the United Nations and BRICS-related forums. Key details of the August 2025 MoUs. In August 2025, Nigeria and Brazil signed 5 key memoranda of understanding, also known as MoUs, during President Bola Tinubu's state visit to Brasilia. These agreements cover energy, aviation, science, technology, and finance, setting the stage for deeper collaboration. Among the highlights, the Energy MoU attracted the most attention, signaling Brazil's intent to strengthen its presence in Nigeria's resource sector. The Aviation MoU aims to boost direct flights and improve trade logistics, while Science and Technology agreements focus on research partnerships and knowledge transfer. The Financial Cooperation Pact will support bilateral trade settlements and encourage private sector participation. Although MoUs are not legally binding contracts, they carry significant political weight, showcasing intent and direction. Analysts describe these MoUs as a strategic blueprint that could lead to billions in future investments. Importantly, the discussions included the potential return of Petrobras, Brazil's state-controlled energy giant, to Nigeria after years of absence. Energy cooperation as a central focus. Among all agreements signed, energy cooperation stands as the most transformative. Nigeria, Africa's top oil producer, holds massive offshore reserves and untapped gas fields, while Brazil, through Petrobras, has advanced expertise in deepwater exploration. This synergy creates a natural partnership. For Nigeria, collaboration means access to advanced technology, foreign investment, and knowledge sharing that could improve output and efficiency. For Brazil, re-engaging with Nigeria strengthens its energy security and expands influence in Africa. The potential return of Petrobras adds further weight, as the company's track record in ultra-deep offshore drilling aligns perfectly with Nigeria's production challenges. Both governments framed the deal as a win-win scenario, aiming for shared growth rather than one-sided exploitation. By centering on energy, the partnership goes beyond short-term trade. It builds long-term infrastructure, creates jobs, and enhances geopolitical relevance. Background: Petrobras's exit from Nigeria. Petrobras, Brazil's state-owned energy company, once operated actively in Nigeria's oil-rich fields, particularly during the early 2000s. The company played a role in deep-water exploration projects and was viewed as a valuable partner due to its technological expertise. However, Petrobras exited Nigeria around 2018 to 2019, citing financial pressures and a global restructuring strategy. The company was facing corruption scandals at home, mounting debts, and shifting priorities that led it to retreat from many international ventures. Nigeria was among the countries affected by this withdrawal, which created a gap in bilateral energy cooperation. The exit left room for other global oil companies to take the lead in Nigeria's exploration projects. For Nigeria, losing Petrobras meant fewer partnerships in advanced offshore technology. For Brazil, leaving Nigeria reduced its African footprint and limited its global energy outreach. This context makes the current discussions of return especially significant. Why Petrobras is considering a return? The conversation about Petrobras returning to Nigeria is fueled by several strategic reasons. First, Nigeria's reserves of crude oil and natural gas remain among the largest in the world, offering immense opportunities for long-term growth. Second, Petrobras has successfully restructured its finances in recent years, regaining stability and reducing debt burdens. With stronger capital and governance reforms in place, the company is in a better position to expand abroad again. Third, the geopolitical climate favors greater South-South cooperation, making Nigeria an ideal partner. Brazil sees Africa as a strategic region for influence and energy diversification. Finally, the Nigerian government under President Tinubu has been pushing reforms to attract foreign investors, cutting bureaucratic bottlenecks and providing incentives for multinational companies. Together, these factors make Nigeria a compelling market for Petrobras's renewed ambitions, marking its potential return as both an economic and diplomatic opportunity. Statements from Presidents Tinubu and Lula. During the August 2025 summit, both President Bola Tinubu of Nigeria and President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva of Brazil emphasized their commitment to strengthening bilateral ties. Tinubu highlighted Nigeria's need for technological expertise and foreign investment to boost oil and gas production, positioning Brazil as a key ally. Lula, on the other hand, celebrated the shared cultural and historical links while stressing Brazil's readiness to support Nigeria's energy ambitions. Both leaders mentioned Petrobras, with Lula affirming that the company could return quickly if conditions align. Tinubu welcomed this prospect, framing it as an opportunity for mutual prosperity and regional leadership. Their statements projected confidence and set a cooperative tone, reassuring investors and signaling a clear policy direction. The leaders also underscored that energy collaboration would be accompanied by initiatives in aviation, science, and finance, ensuring that the partnership extends beyond a single sector. Potential impact on Nigeria's oil and gas sector. A Petrobras comeback could reshape Nigeria's oil and gas industry. The country holds massive deep-water reserves, yet production efficiency has lagged due to aging infrastructure and limited investment. Petrobras's expertise in ultra-deep offshore drilling offers Nigeria a chance to unlock resources previously seen as too costly or complex. This could lead to a significant rise in output, helping Nigeria stabilize exports and increase foreign exchange earnings. Furthermore, renewed cooperation may introduce advanced technologies that reduce gas flaring and improve environmental standards, aligning with Nigeria's sustainability goals. Local companies could benefit from knowledge transfer, while new projects may generate employment across engineering, logistics, and services. Importantly, collaboration might also revive stalled projects abandoned after Petrobras's exit in 2019. Analysts argue that a successful partnership would not only expand Nigeria's production capacity, but also improve its competitiveness against other oil-producing nations, ensuring stronger positioning in global energy markets. Brazil's strategic energy goals in Africa. Brazil views Africa as a critical region to advance its energy diplomacy and diversify supply lines. With Petrobras seeking to expand beyond Latin America, Nigeria provides the ideal entry point, given its proven reserves and status as Africa's largest oil producer. For Brazil, investing in Nigeria is about securing long-term access to crude oil and natural gas, reducing reliance on volatile global suppliers. Beyond raw resources, the partnership supports Brazil's ambition to project influence across the global south, positioning itself as a bridge between Latin America and Africa. Lula's government has emphasized sustainable practices, meaning cooperation will likely include renewable energy projects, gas utilization, and advanced exploration technologies. By anchoring its African strategy in Nigeria, Brazil signals commitment to deeper commercial ties, cultural exchange, and stronger diplomatic presence. This approach allows Brazil to compete with established players such as China and India, while reinforcing its credibility in global energy discussions. Economic benefits for both nations. The Nigeria-Brazil energy alignment promises wide-reaching economic gains. For Nigeria, Petrobras's return could boost foreign direct investment, drive higher oil production, and increase government revenues through taxes and royalties. Infrastructure development such as pipelines, refineries, and offshore facilities would also create jobs and stimulate related industries like shipping, finance, and construction. For Brazil, entering Nigeria's market ensures a stable flow of energy imports at favorable terms, strengthening its domestic energy security. Brazilian firms gain opportunities to partner with Nigerian companies, expanding influence in engineering, logistics, and renewable projects. Both nations benefit from trade growth beyond oil, as improved diplomatic relations often extend to aviation, agriculture, and technology. Additionally, this cooperation aligns with broader multilateral goals, enhancing their standing in organizations promoting South-South collaboration. Analysts note that successful implementation could generate billions of dollars in shared value, reinforcing the idea that this partnership is not symbolic but economically transformative. Challenges ahead: policy, finance, and logistics. Although promising, the Nigeria-Brazil energy push faces major challenges. Nigeria continues to struggle with policy inconsistencies, regulatory bottlenecks, and security concerns in oil-producing regions. These issues can discourage long-term investment, even for experienced companies like Petrobras. Financing large offshore projects also requires significant capital, and global investors may be cautious given recent volatility in the oil market. Logistics add further complexity. Nigeria's port infrastructure is under pressure, and transporting equipment for deep water operations is costly and time-intensive. For Brazil, allocating resources abroad while meeting domestic energy needs will require balancing priorities. Moreover, both governments must ensure transparency in contracts to avoid corruption scandals, which previously damaged Petrobras's reputation. Analysts emphasize that without clear policies, financial guarantees, and logistical improvements, the partnership risks delays or underperformance. Addressing these hurdles directly will be key to converting political agreements into tangible results that benefit both nations. Public and investor reactions to the news. The announcement of renewed cooperation has generated strong reactions across Nigeria and Brazil. In Nigeria, citizens view the potential return of Petrobras as a chance to create employment, improve infrastructure, and boost government revenues. The news has also sparked optimism within the oil and gas community, which sees Petrobras as a valuable partner in advancing offshore exploration. Investors, both local and international, responded positively, with energy analysts highlighting the potential for billions in future projects. In Brazil, business circles welcomed the opportunity to expand influence in Africa, though some expressed caution about political risks in Nigeria. International observers see the deal as a symbol of South-South cooperation, applauding both governments for diversifying beyond traditional Western partners. While enthusiasm is high, many stakeholders remain cautious until definitive contracts are signed. The general sentiment suggests confidence, but success will depend on converting political intent into actionable investments. What Petrobras's return could mean for the future. If Petrobras reestablishes its presence in Nigeria, the implications could extend far beyond oil production. For Nigeria, it may mark the beginning of technological transformation, with advanced offshore expertise improving efficiency and sustainability. The collaboration could also enhance Nigeria's role as a regional hub for energy innovation, attracting other multinational players. For Brazil, successful reintegration strengthens its global energy influence and solidifies ties with Africa. Future cooperation may expand into renewables, biofuels, and green energy, aligning with both nations' climate goals. The return also sets a precedent for how global South economies can build partnerships independent of Western dominance. Over time, this could reshape energy geopolitics, positioning Nigeria and Brazil as joint leaders in alternative frameworks of cooperation. Ultimately, Petrobras's return is more than a business move. It symbolizes the potential for emerging economies to collaborate on equal terms, driving growth, sustainability, and strategic autonomy. The stage is set for a new era in Nigeria-Brazil relations. If Petrobras truly returns, it could fuel fresh opportunities and redefine energy ties. Stay tuned, because this story is only just beginning, and its impact may reach far beyond oil. Thanks for watching.